Okay, okay, good.
Sorry, I've never done this one before.
Okay, it usually takes us a minute or two. Oops. So yeah, it's Webinar Jam, and it uses Google Hangouts. So it will go on to like YouTube and all that. This is really bright. But yeah, it does take a second. And I don't know if you need a screen share or anything like that, but you have all those capabilities. So it's pretty easy, and there's a chat window on the right if you can see that. You know, if anybody asks questions, but my team tends to show up late. They tend to roll in a couple minutes, so we can get on in a second. Oh, hang on, are we? I don't think we're live yet. I haven't pressed live. Maybe I have. I think I have. I think we're live. But people will take a few minutes to kind of load in. So I'll let people take some time to load in. We use this Webinar Jam. It's easier because Zoom only gives you a certain amount of people before you have to pay for it. And this is actually really affordable. I'm wearing my pajamas, y'all. That's just real. Sorry. They're actually pajamas. They're not even like what I wear. They're PJs. It's better. I like it better than Zoom because it costs less than Zoom, and you actually it actually emails the recording right to the participants. Like if you register for it, you'll have to ignore the kids going to bed. It emails it to them. It also saves all the email addresses. So if you're doing a webinar, like you're trying to, so it's a neat function. Plus it loads directly to my YouTube account. So it's a really great, affordable option.
That's nice. Yeah.
Seeing whatever Zoom asks for. So we'll give people another minute, and then I'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for being with us, Melissa. I know that you've been kind of popular.
A little bit. It's been crazy. Sure. Good crazy, but crazy.
Good. I'm good. I mean, it's just pretty amazing that you've had that opportunity to share your story, and that you've gotten yourself out there on that level with the Beachbody Challenge. It's really neat. I think we totally underestimate what an amazing thing that is. That's available to our challengers, and so I'd love to share more about that because I don't think we take advantage of it enough. Getting our challengers to participate in that and to submit their photos. I'm going to have you share more about that. Okay, it looks like we have some people loading in. Okay, we'll go and get started. All right, y'all. Welcome to the Team Phoenix call. We have lots registered today. That was exciting. So a lot more. We have a lot of new coaches. So lots of new faces maybe tonight. So welcome. If this is your first team call, just thanks for joining us. It's not as intimate and personal as maybe our live power hours where we're on the face-to-face like conference called Zoom. But there are larger numbers that show up for this team call. This tends to be the better option, but we thank you for making it. We do know how valuable your evening time is. Like I know that, it's tough to break away from the family stuff. Many of you are moms like me and Melissa who have kids going down to bed at this hour. So to get here face to face, to get here live, as great as it is to be able to catch the recordings, just to get here live to connect with your team. I think it's just there's a special energy when you're able to be here live. So thank you for making it. And we welcome you to the team. So we do these twice a month. We get together as a team to share training, whether it's from me, other leaders on my team, or guest speakers like we have tonight, which are very blessed. They take time out of their evening away from their teams and their families to share with us. So it's a really special occasion when we have somebody who comes on to share, just out of the kindness of their heart, because they care so much about Team Beachbody and its purpose and its mission, that it doesn't matter that it's not for their own team or to glorify themselves. They really just want to share of what they've learned and give back. I think that's a big deal. I think it's a huge deal when a guest speaker comes on, because they could totally be spending time with their family. They could totally be spending time with their team, but they're here because it's not just about them. It's not just about making money. It's not just about rank advancing. It's not just about building a business. It's about something that they believe in on a larger scale. So I take it very seriously, and I really don't take it for granted. So just thanks again Melissa. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to just mention a couple announcement type things just to make sure you guys are aware. Be sure you are receiving our team newsletter. It comes out each Sunday night if I'm on my game, which I usually am. But you'll get that Sunday nights, and that gives you a lot of the updated, I have a calendar in there, but any new launches, any information, not everything, obviously, please log into your back office on a regular basis to check out the breaking news. But I try to highlight some things, especially any team-wide things. So that's coming to you on Sunday nights. I do share special trainings, and I curate them carefully for you. They're not just random. So take advantage of that resource. And if you're not receiving that, reach out to your upline. We'll make sure that you're on that email list. Okay, there's a couple things. Like today is the launch of UV2. So which is really, really exciting. And they talked about it on the National Wake Up Call yesterday. So I'm just going to reiterate probably a lot, like what was already said. But I know at first when this was announced, a lot of people were like, oh, this is kind of okay, whatever. Like, this is kind of silly. And I was actually super excited because I really felt like there was an entire demographic, an entire market that Beachbody was kind of ignoring. And I know that I get a lot of people in my challenge groups and in my free groups who most of the programs are really scary for them. And honestly, like guys, these are the people that we really should be reaching the most. I know that we're super fit now. We've changed our lifestyle and we're like stronger and we're better. And so we like to challenge ourselves with, the more challenging workouts, and that gets us excited. But let's just, and I think that's what happens. We get really excited about the programs we want to do, but let's remember what we're here to do. And that's to serve people who really have great needs. And this is a program that's going to serve a large population of people who aren't moving. So I want us to take it serious and not just think, oh, this is a silly, new program. It's not that like intense. This is exactly what a lot of our country needs. So we should be taking it really seriously. We should be putting this out there at a high level because most of the people who are going to do this are not going to do most of your challenge groups. They're just not. They're not going to get excited about quarter force. Not going to get excited about Sean Week. They just aren't. But this might be the thing that actually gets them off their couch. So I am going to probably offer some kind of challenge out tomorrow to like have all of you guys like video yourself live doing UV2. There's like a kid modifier option on there. Like, no, how many of you guys you guys are mostly moms and the people we serve, moms. Like, don't we want our kids moving? So we're gonna talk more about that. I'm gonna challenge you, but I just wanna like make sure I didn't like miss an opportunity to tell you like what a big deal it is that this program has been launched and that it's inviting our children into it. Like, come on, that's awesome. Obviously, Sean Week, June 12th, you can read more about that on the breaking news, but put that on your radar. Get serious about that. Sean T's got a huge following. Just, thank your lucky stars how Beachbody markets so well. Like Sean T already has a huge following without us even coming into the picture, right? So we get to really capitalize on what a brand he's already built. And so especially if you're like a newer coach, like people know Sean T is, and when they're seeing he's coming out with something new, it's a big deal. So he's got 7 new workouts. We can talk more about that, but just putting that on your radar. And the summer sale. So summer sale on June 5th through 12th. Put that on your radar. Twice a year, Beachbody does these really big discounts, like up to 80%, crazy stuff. And I personally used it as an opportunity to invest in challenge group prizes that are really like, you can get like DVDs for like $5. So put that on your radar. We can talk more about how to maximize that, but I just want to make sure that those are on, you're thinking about those. Let me see over in the chat. This is also the week to vote for the Beachbody Challenge Finals.
The same. December sale.
The 5th to 12th. Okay, so Melissa I did not know that. That was the last week. So thank you for saying that. Melissa says that's the last week to vote for the Beachbody Challenge. Only week.
Yeah, they announced the finalists on the 5th, and then it's 1 week of voting.
Thank you. Okay, she cleared that up for me because I was going to screw it all up. So that's a big deal. And if you have not been to the summit and seen like when they announced this, it's the best thing. It's the best thing ever. Like, you will stop. So I mean, so please use your opportunity to vote, please, people, and get to Summit. Get to Summit. Like, your life will be changed, especially when you see these finalists up there. And then we're going to hear from Melissa, who was a quarterly finalist. I'm not sure at what point, but she's going to share with you, a little bit about, her story. So, okay, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to give you a little bit of Melissa's credentials. So I know about Melissa because her sister, April, is in my mastermind group. So, we have 5-star or 6-star and above. We have these mastermind groups with our corporate mentors. And we have these small pods of people that we stay in a group message thread with. We have weekly calls with. And so April is her sister, and she was so proud of what Melissa's been doing. And she's just raving about her and sharing her story. So I've been following her through April. And so I was like, well, I got to get her on a call. I got to, hear from her. And she's also evidently a rock star at, getting this challenge, this Kickstart challenge pack into people's hands. And I think so often we neglect that because we're trying to keep it in the lower price range for people because we're apologetic about the cost. And I think that's unfortunate for us. So I'm excited to hear how Melissa, how she does that. She's going to share her wisdom. Molly, when you say, what is that? What do you mean? What is that? Knowing what she's talking about. We'll wait for her to answer. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to Melissa. She is a diamond coach, stay-at-home mom, full-time as a coach. She quit her job 6 months after and returned from having Elsie. That's your daughter, and she took a chance. So good for you. And that's 3 years later. You've been coaching for 3 years. Mm-hmm. Yes. Success Club All-Star, meaning she's hit Success Club 12 months consecutively. In the last 2.5 years, she's only missed 1 month of Success Club, and she'll never forget it. Painful, isn't it? But I think it's really important that you share that, because I know a lot of people, that's happened to them before, and they kind of let things kind of go downhill, and they take it so personally, and they get so down on themselves. But you didn't. So yeah, it sucked, but you move forward, and no doubt you're going to be a legend, and you're going to keep crushing it. She's lost 111 pounds. That's just nuts. Beat depression and anxiety. It's a recovering alcoholic, 2 years sober. I know there's a coach on my team who also can relate to that story, so I really hope she's on live to hear from you tonight. She survived a car accident with a broken neck and now has chronic back pain, but she's still crushing her business, and she's still crushing her workouts, and she's still inspiring people. She's pregnant. How many weeks are you? 8.5 weeks. 8.5. 8.5.
We share everything, so the world knows.
And right, Hannah? And she was one of the final 4 in her age group for the Beachbody finalists. So they had certain age groups. They have a finalist for each age group go to the finals, and she's one of the final 4. So that's really exciting. Really cool. Okay, Molly was asking what the Beachbody Challenge finalists are. I'm going to let Melissa share about that when that makes sense and what she's talking to you about. But Melissa, take it away. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with our team. We truly appreciate it. So go ahead and share.
Thank you so much. So first of all, I have to tell you guys, when Megan says go to Summit, she means go to Summit. So I actually saw Megan speak last year at Summit. It was amazing. I probably have 8 pages of notes. But it was actually, the thing that started all of this for me, essentially, the thing that got the ball rolling, the thing that, got me into coaching was Summit. My sister is my upline, my little sister. And I started with Beachbody right after 6 weeks after I had my daughter. Actually, I started with the Shakeology, I think 3 weeks after I had my daughter. But, it was, and I want to share a little bit of my story just because I have to, in order to tell you how to share your story effectively, which is something that I do very well. In order to be successful in this business, you need to become the absolute best version of yourself from the inside out. And you need to get good at sharing that, because that is what is going to motivate and inspire. And when, you know, we were talking about UBQ, I did it today and I did a double workout. Like, we had so much fun doing it the first time. We push play again. And I'm telling you, I still have that first trimester, like, fatigue, like a mofo. And I don't have the energy to follow Shanti or Autumn or even Shalene right now. And so being able to do Country Heat or UV2 is perfect for me, because I'm excited about it and I can still do it. Because if there was one thing I told myself before we got pregnant, is that if I could, I would. And that has kind of been my attitude for this whole journey. So it started, you know, I struggled with weight my entire adult life. When I was 19, my best friend that was in a car accident 2.5 years before that, you know, had a really hard fight, was in a coma, rehab center, everything. He ended up jumping off a bridge 2.5 years after the accident at the end of my freshman year in high school, and I ended up in a psych ward. I've had depression as long as I can remember, but it had never been treated until I couldn't handle it anymore. And I left my dorm room in a straitjacket and I went home to my family like 5 days later. And I didn't finish that semester in college. And then when I came home from the psych ward, I was very heavily medicated. And one of the meds is one of the meds that they give anorexic girls to gain weight because I wasn't sleeping, but it helps you sleep. So I gained 40 pounds in 4 months, and I'm already a depressed girl. And so I started self-medicating, and then I started self-medicating with alcohol. And that is a bad, toxic 5 years we're just going to call college. I was the person, I was the girl, you know, with whatever size, with the pretty face and the smile on her face and the amazing sense of humor. I mean, I am a blast, and people just love me. And I radiate that no matter what is going on, because I never let the world know how badly I was broken. I never wanted anyone to know what was going on inside. And sometimes it leaked out, like when I drank. So, you know, when I found Beachbody was right after my pregnancy. And actually my sister just shared today, so pretty cool. I posted on her wall 4 years ago today: save a spot for another client once your niece gets here. I'm going to be ready to get my butt kicked by someone other than a fetus. And that was, I guess, the start of my journey, because after I had the baby, I was breastfeeding, and everything that I knew how to lose weight in the past wasn't healthy. And I knew that I had to do it right. And so my daughter saved my life, because my sister was like, all right, you need to get started with a challenge pack. You need a shake, and you can do this workout. It's only 25 minutes. And I was 233 pounds post C-section and 5'3". So I'm not big, but I was big and unhealthy and uncomfortable and miserable. And I had, when I say zero self-confidence, I mean zero self-confidence. It would take me 30 minutes to get ready to go somewhere, and that's not doing my hair or doing my makeup. That is pulling every outfit out of my closet, trying it on, crying, throwing it in a pile, and putting on all black and putting on a scarf or a shawl or whatever covered me the best. And I would even skip social outings because I was so uncomfortable in my body and I didn't want anyone to see how bad I had gotten. And the truth is, I couldn't even hide it anymore. I didn't have that spark or that fire. It was dead. And I didn't want my daughter to grow up and see that mom. I've wanted to be a mom for as long as I can remember, but not that mom. I don't want to be the mom who puts herself down in front of her little girl. I don't want to be the mom who calls herself fat. I say the F word like Gary Vee, but we do not use the word fat in our house. That is the true bad F word. So my sister told me I needed Shakeology, and I was like, I don't drink my food, but it took me about 2 days of being able to make a meal in under 60 seconds and drink it with one hand as a new nursing mom, and I was in love. So I thought that I would struggle with the shakes, and it turns out that I really struggle with the fitness. And my sister will tell everyone that it was a bad move on her part, because, you know, here's the thing too, when a new product comes out in the past, we've always pushed that product. You know, that is the product to try. And T25 had just come out, and she was like, it's great. It's only 25 minutes. I couldn't even do any of the workouts. None of them. I could not complete a single one. And Tanya, the modifier, well, that was a fucking joke because I'm trying to follow Tanya. I couldn't even do one modified push-ups. There was only 2 workouts that I could even attempt. The entire DVD set. And for someone who has no self-confidence and no self-belief and no self-love, that doesn't say a lot to your confidence. When even, when I got into challenge groups and I saw all these other people that could do it, and I have a really bad habit of comparing myself to other people, and I couldn't get out of my own head. And Shanti's like, Tanya's had a baby. And I was like, what? No, Tanya has abs. I'm sorry, but no. Like, I just had a baby and I don't look anything like Tanya. So that was hard, and that's how I started. And most people probably would have quit there. And I did for a while. I'm not going to lie. I started, I quit. And then the 21-day fix came out. And when I started, I signed up as a discount coach. And I actually got my first challenge pack as a birthday present split between my mom and my mother-in-law because I was on unpaid maternity leave and my husband was in law school. So if people want, if there's a will, there's a way. I did not even pay for my first package. So I signed up as a discount coach, and my sister told me that I should be a coach. And my response to her was, I'm no one to inspire anyone. I'm so broken. I have nothing for myself. I have absolutely nothing to give anyone else. And, it's crazy to be where I am today and realize that I said those words and I meant them with my entire heart, but that's where I was. So when the 21-day fix came out, I had a talk with myself. I was like, all right, Melissa, let's get real. Can you love who you are? Can you stand in the mirror and love yourself? Can you love yourself for your daughter? Can you be the wife who doesn't have to have the lights on and a shirt on to be with your husband? Because they deserve more from you than that. They deserve more than who you are, and so do you. And unfortunately, I was at a place where I couldn't do it for me, so I had to do it for them. And I knew that I wanted more babies, so I made it about that. I said, you know what? It was so rough with Elsie. I saw a chiropractor every day. I was in so much pain, and I gained over 70 pounds, and I was already on an upward slope where I had gained 35 in the 6 months before I got pregnant. And I didn't want to do that again. So I was like, all right, I'm going to lose this weight and I'm going to get healthy so that I can do this right, so that I can do this better, so that I can love the process, because I hated everything about my pregnancy, including my body. And I hate that. I couldn't leave it at that. So my why was strong the whole time. So I did the 21-day fix, and I'm telling you what, I needed Kat. I needed Kat, like from the bottom of my ever-loving heart. I needed her because I needed someone who I could relate to, who didn't have a six-pack, who wasn't like crushing the workouts. Like, I needed to know that I could do it. I was that person who needed UV2. I was that person. And so you can't discount a program like this because you are discounting a million Melissas out there who are still struggling and hiding from their life. I have about 5 pictures of me and my daughter in the first 6 months of her life. That's it. I refuse to have my picture taken. When I had to submit my stuff for the Beachbody Challenge, they wanted stuff in the beginning, and it broke my heart that I have like none. But luckily, a few months after the 21-day fix came out, my sister went to this thing called Summit. And when I went back to work after having my daughter, it was an awful situation. They wanted my assistant to take my job. They couldn't because of FMLA. They could pay her less. I trained her very well when I left. So they made my life hell for 6 months. And I was so broken that I let them. And so we saved up every penny we had, every penny. And after 6 months, I quit. My husband had just graduated law school, like still had to study for the bar, didn't have any jobs lined up. And our savings had enough in it to last us like 6 to 9 months, depending. And so I was like, all right, Melissa, this is your time. Like, what are you going to do? And I didn't want to go back to work. I didn't, because as much as, I loved what I did, it changed after I had that little girl. I didn't want to pay someone else to do the job that I wanted. And that's what it boiled down to. I couldn't stomach that thought, to go work for someone else, to pay someone else to raise my daughter. Because when I got home, I got the fussy baby who fought sleep. And I missed everything. And I hated that. And I didn't want that. And most importantly, I didn't want that for the second one. So it was a month after I quit, I saw my sister at Summit. And first, I'm like so miserable. I'm like, I see all these people and they're so freaking happy. And I'm like, what do these people have to be so freaking happy about? Like, right? Like, what is this? And, you know, at the beginning, that's what I thought. And by the end of the weekend, you know, because this is back before people really cleaned up their social media game. So my sister posted like 85 pictures in 4 days of Summit, you know, not what we do now. But, and so by the end of the weekend, I'm like, I can't take it anymore. Like, I sent my sister a message and I was like, all right, I want in. What do I have to do? And she said, you have to buy a ticket to Summit next year, which I did. No income. She told me that I needed to share my story, and I about threw up. And I was like, I'll get back to you on that one. And she told me just to do it. And so I was like, fine. I was going down to visit her. We took my pictures because I don't know if you've seen my pictures, but my first picture, I refused to look at the camera. I didn't actually see that picture for 6 months. I didn't want to see it. My husband sent it straight to my sister and erased it off my phone. So I didn't see it until I took that next picture 6 months later when I was down 60 pounds. And so I shared that, and the love that I received back changed everything for me. I shared 2 weeks after that I was in a psych ward. I mean, we are talking that in the last 3 years, I have shared parts of my soul that I wish I could take to the grave. Things that I was so ashamed about, things that, you know, I mean, I shared that I'm an alcoholic. I thought people would judge me. I thought people would think I was a bad mom, but it's been one of the best things that I've ever done. It's made me so proud to be who I am. And from someone who hated themselves, that's huge. My flaws are what make me strong. My flaws are what connect me to other people so that I can change their life and show them a better way. So don't underestimate the things that you hate about yourself. If anything, you've got to learn how to use them to your benefit. You've got to learn how to be strong enough to share them. And that's why you have to work on yourself. 2015 was the year of change. When I first decided I wanted to start coaching, I didn't hit Success Club for like 6 months because I told my sister, I don't need this coach basics and I don't need these vital behaviors. I come from a sales and marketing background. Guess what, guys? This isn't sales and marketing. You know, if somebody tells you it is, cool in a way, but no. So going to live events changed everything for me. I went to January Super Friday 2015 when Carl announced Melanie Mitro as the top coach, and they shared, you know, these Beachbody finalist winners and these success stories up on stage. And I said to myself, sitting in that chair, still knowing that I am a broken individual because I didn't do any PD at this point. I didn't think I needed it, right? So I sat there with tears streaming down my face, and I told my husband that I would be on that stage. And I told my husband that I would be a Beachbody Challenge winner because I knew if I told him that I would never let him down. And then I didn't want to let him down anymore. And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so I'm like in this plateau for 6 months, and I'm like, I'm doing the workouts every day, like what's happening? And my coach is like, well, how many programs have you done? And I was like, what do you mean? I do 21-day fix and PIO every day. And she said, well, how many programs have you completed? And I said, well, I push play every day and I complete the whole like workout. I don't know what you're talking about, because when I started, I didn't start with a schedule because I couldn't do it. So that was never how I started. I started just on my own completely without the schedule and the accountability. So I committed to 60 days of PIO, and I committed to so much more. Halfway through PIO is when I quit drinking, because I committed to myself. I committed to everything. I was doing personal development every day. And as much as I didn't want it to be, every time I listened to Chalene Johnson's Car Smart and she said, what is the one thing holding you back from the person who you want to be? It was my drinking, because it was the one part of me that I really, truly couldn't share. And that was hard. And I am 25 months sober, and I haven't been to a single AA meeting, and I didn't go to rehab because BB has been my AA. I mean, what is AA? It's a group of people who support you and keep you sober. But to me, I've been to AA meetings in the past, and because most people wait until they hit rock bottom to change, they have to go through everything they did. And so it's a lot of, you know, what I did when I was drinking and what I did when I was fucked up, and the where I was going. I didn't want to live in the past. I couldn't spend every day thinking about the horrible things that I did. All I wanted to focus on is what good I could do tomorrow. How much better could I be? What could I do to make up for all of the things that I've done that I can never take back? I can become a better person. I can show my loved ones that they mean the world to me by working on me. So I did. And 2015 was the year of change. I did 10 months of EMDR therapy, intensive therapy. I dove into personal development. I dove into the programs. You know, I was in the 160s for like 6 months. I did PIO in 60 days and I lost 11 pounds and like 15 inches. I had a waist for the first time ever. And I was like, holy crap. The secret is in the schedule, guys. I'm telling you, you want results. You need to pick a program, commit, and do it start to finish. Then I went on to Insanity Max 30, which was just crazy because I'm not a cardio person. And it took me 2 years from when I started, but I finally finished a round of 21 Day Fix, and then I did 21 Day Fix Extreme. And at this point, I had lost 95 pounds and I was in the best shape of my life. I'm talking better body after baby. Great, right? I finally, after 2 years, I finally started to unmodify. I don't know if you've seen my pictures, but the pictures that won me $1,000 and had me in the running for $5,000, that was 100% following the modifier. Our programs work. You don't have to push it as hard as Sean and Autumn to get the results. Like, these don't look like modified muscles to me. So just saying. But we started Insanity Max 30 again. And 1 week into Insanity Max 30, I guess I should say that I was finally at a point where I was like, all right, I'm comfortable getting pregnant. I'm comfortable that I can do this. I've lost enough of the weight. I lost the baby weight plus 25 pounds. And so I'm feeling good. And we got pregnant on the first try. Thank you, Shakeology. And then 1 week later, I went into a windshield. My family was in a car accident. Gentleman ran a red light and hit us head on, T-bone style. I didn't have my seatbelt on because I had taken it off to get something for Elsie in the back seat, and Chipotle was like 500 yards away. So I shared that part because I know every mom out there has done that. And that one decision changed my life. I remember being in the trauma unit in more pain than I've ever felt in my life, and more pain than I could ever imagine ever being in again. And they told me that I wasn't pregnant, and I was relieved because I knew what was ahead of me. And I had worked so hard for that healthy pregnancy, and that was not going to be it. So as much as that hurt, I was grateful. Then they told me I couldn't work out for 3 months, and I cried because I didn't know what I was going to do. That is how I was dealing with my depression, with my alcoholism, with my anxiety. And that's how I ran my business, because I am proof that the products work. I am a product of the products every day. And so I didn't know how to do that without my workouts. Like, how would people trust me? Why, who am I to motivate anybody right now? I can't even do anything. I can't even hold my daughter or drive. I was so restricted. So it was a few weeks after the accident, I started, and it was in the winter, and I have SAD, which is winter depression. I started going to that dark place again, a place that I remembered from a few years ago. And no matter how much PD I did, or no matter what I did, I couldn't snap out of it. I couldn't find the positive. There was no positive in my mind. People kept telling me, oh, well, this will just be part of your story. And I wanted to be like, my story is amazing enough. I've lost 95 pounds. What more do you want from me? I'm a recovered alcoholic. I beat depression and anxiety. Like, I'm good. I don't need this. I can't believe it, but the accident was one of the best things that's happened to me, and it's completely changed my story. And that is true. It has completely changed who I am, and my ability as a coach. But so I did a cleanse because I didn't know what else to do. And I knew that Beachbody had always been my saving grace, and I needed it to do it again. So I did a 3-day cleanse, and I woke up on day 4, like back to Melissa pre-accident. And I was like, game on, I'm never going back. So I dove into my challenge groups. I told my challengers that I needed their workouts, that I needed the endorphins. And I told anyone who would listen that exercise was a privilege and not a punishment. That there are people out there who fight so hard and are in so much pain to do the bare minimum. And there are other people out there who want to take a pill or a surgery to change their life and not change their life. You've got to put in the work, and you can't take it for granted. If you have every ability in your body to push play every day, I don't know why you aren't. If you're not. Because there are people out there who can't, who their doctors tell them that they can't. And even when they are allowed, it's pain. When I got my neck brace off, they told me that I would be pain-free in 4 weeks. I just got my 10th round of injections in my back on Thursday. It's been 16 months. I live with pain every day because I was a very active person who they told me I couldn't be active anymore, and I had a neck brace on that wouldn't let me move. So my posture is actually amazing, but my posture muscles just are on fire constantly. My back burns all day long, and I have a daughter. And it was hard for me because I felt like I was robbed of that why. I did everything that I needed to do. I did everything. And I was never going to have that pain-free life. Actually, it was a funny joke that now my life is pain. And I could have used that for self-pity, and I could have used that as my out. And trust me, my best friend was up on that bridge because it's hard. And I know that. I lived through that. And what saved me and what pushed me forward was knowing that I just had to choose my hard. My life before Beachbody was hard. It was hard to live that life every day. To hate yourself that much is exhausting. And I wasn't willing to go back to that life. So I knew I had to go forward. It took me 6 months before I could work out 5 days in a row. Like I would start out 1 day a week and then 2 days a week. And I have videos of me in a soft collar, like doing size like T-Rex because I couldn't even put my hands above my head because it hurt too bad. I just started again. I modified the shit out of the modifier. I have a video of me in a soft collar modifying Insanity Max 30. Like I just had to keep moving. And you know what? The only time of day that I didn't feel pain was when I pushed play. When I work out is the only time that I am surely never feeling pain. And that would have never happened if it wasn't a part of my life, if I didn't have these challenge groups, these support groups, or the accountability of coaching. Because who in their right mind is going to be like, what's going to help my back pain? Burpees. Nobody. Like, that's just not something that normal people think. I didn't think it either. So 2016 was the year of fighting. I fought all year. I had injections in my back all year. It took 10 months before anyone could even tell me why I had pain, which is exhausting and a total mental mind. But when it got hard, I dove into the business instead of away. And it's what saved my life. Honestly and truly, it is what saved me. I dove into the business. And you know what? I have so many clients with lupus or fibromyalgia or nerve pain or chronic pain now that are moving, that are losing weight, that are feeling better than they have felt in years. And that's because I was strong enough to step up and share what I was doing. And it's not just to share the successes. I share my struggles in a positive way, in a way that I can motivate and inspire other people. But I share my struggles more than I share my successes. I'm a very real coach. If you follow my story, I'm a very real, raw, and honest person. I cry in most of my videos because I have a huge heart, and my entire life I've been called dramatic. And I thought it was a bad thing until this business, when I realized that having a good heart is the best thing that I have. It's the best gift that I have in this business. Something that I have always thought was, a fault is a blessing. And that's what this business is. Everything about you is a blessing. You have to own that shit. You have to own who you are. And in order to do that, you have to know who you are. So I did 4 or 5 months of PT and it helped, but it still got me to the point where, all of my doctors are like, you're my best patient. You do everything to minimize your pain. You drink this amazing shake that they love, all the ingredients in it. You put turmeric in your shakes, you work out, you eat healthy, you go to, you have personal development, you are mentally aware. I mean, I have sat in my doctor's office and cried for 10 minutes because I had to take pain pills for a year and a half, and I'm a recovered alcoholic, and that scares the shit out of me. After a couple months, I had them take me down to tramadol because I was like, I just can't. I have seen way too many people that are sober get hurt, break their femur, get on pain pills, go right back to drinking. And I told you, I cannot go back to that life. I fought for it. I fought for everything. And 2017 has been the year of blessings. I had to put my cat down of 17 years. And maybe that sounds dumb, but she loves me when I didn't love myself. And I remember crying with her when Kirk died and when I came home from the psych ward and it was a zombie. I just laid with her for hours. She got me through the roughest times in my life. And I was so bummed because it's all getting so good now. And she's not here to share it with me. And, you know, I knew that she knew that I was good and she could go. And I think that she also knew I was pregnant because I found out a week later. And it has been a struggle to get here. You can't be pregnant on pain meds. Like, you know, I couldn't even think about pregnancy with the amount of pain that I had because it would have destroyed me. If not physically, it would have destroyed me mentally. In that accident, they told me if I still had that 95 pounds in my body, I probably would have went through the windshield. I probably would have been paralyzed, or they would have been having a much different conversation with my husband. But I knew that, you know, the worst situation there would have been that if I would have survived that accident with that extra 95 pounds and before Beachbody, I would have never made it. I would have never made it mentally. It would have been my out. It would have been the end all. I never would have pushed forward through that. It was an easy, I mean, broken neck and chronic pain is a good reason to quit, right? It's a good reason to give up. And if I didn't have a world full of accountability and the support that I do and the changes that I've made, I wouldn't have done it. I owe everything to this company. It has changed and saved my life more times than I can count. A week after I found out I was pregnant, I found out I won $1,000 for being a Beachbody challenge or Beachbody winner. So the Beachbody challenge is so amazing. And from my first summit, that first summit that I went to, I bawled like a baby when they did the Beachbody finalists because all of these stories reminded me of my own. And my story was still being written then. That first year, I only had a couple months sober. I've only been doing like personal development for like 6 months. I hadn't even started therapy yet. So, you know, I was a different person. And to see those people on that stage, I said, I'm going to be on that stage. Like, it wasn't enough to be a Beachbody winner. I wanted to be on that stage. And I knew that that was going to take some serious work. So that's what I did. I went to work. And the next year at Summit, I was so sad because I wasn't on that stage. And I cried for a whole different reason. Because at that point, I had lost over 100 pounds. I hit that 100-pound loss mark when I wasn't allowed to work out, by the way. That was right after I got my neck brace off. That was the containers in Shakeology right there. So to win the $1,000 was amazing. It was like a dream come true. And then to find out that I was a contestant for the quarterly of $5,000 and I did not win, but that was based off votes. And that just means that I need to try harder next time and rally the troops, because on June 5th, I find out if I'm one of the finalists. They called me personally on a Friday night and told me how much they loved my story. They told me they wanted to produce my story no matter if I was on that stage or not. And in my book, that's a win. Because I know my story can inspire so many different groups of people. I know that if I can do it, anyone can do it. And sometimes people just need to hear something. You know, you should share your story twice a week. A piece of your story, and your story should look 3 parts. What did your life look like before Beachbody? What part of Beachbody changed it? And what does it look like now? And it doesn't have to be huge. It can be like how, you know, before Beachbody, I sat around at home with a baby all day and no one congratulated me for keeping her alive. And today, I changed 3 lives. And I had 5 messages of women telling me how much I have helped them. I mean, that's what my life is now. Like, it's the best of both worlds for me. I get to talk to women all day and I get to raise my children. Like, what more can you ask for, right? So people need to see your before they can picture their after. So it's very important that you're always sharing of where you came from and how you got where you are, even if that's hard. So on June 5th, hopefully look for me. The voting is for 1 week. You can vote every 24 hours. And you know what? I don't even care if I win the $100,000. I mean, I care a little bit, of course. I have like a ton of debt built up from my back because that shit ain't cheap. And obviously we're bringing another baby into this family, but you know, I have one more than Beachbody could ever pay me. I would pay them $100,000 for what they've given me. And that is what we do. Do not cheapen this. Do not cheapen what we do. We save and change lives. And if somebody isn't willing to commit $140, they sure as shit won't put in the work. And they're not ready. So I'm going to talk to you guys now that I shared that. Bring it back. I'm going to talk to you guys about building the value and walking you through the Power Hour process to closing a Kickstart. So first, I realize that I can share my screen, but I don't even have it up anywhere, so I apologize for that. So here's my Power Hour tracker. You can actually see that pretty decent. And then I will send it to Megan if she wants. But I use this every day. So I get up at 6:50 every day, and I Power Hour at 7 with one of my teammates because I have learned to build this business in the pockets of time that I have. And for the first couple years, I tried to fit that in here and there. And it wasn't until I think January, I listened to The Miracle Morning for Network Marketers, and it changed my life. I am not a morning person. And I would just wake up when my daughter woke up. And I was like, I need that sleep. And I'm telling you, like, before my daughter gets up, that is my time to grind. And I love it. And actually, when I had insomnia in my pregnancy for a few weeks, and my Power Hour partner had to get up an hour earlier. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. I was like, cool, I can't do that. I'm not sleeping, can't get up at 6 o'clock. So I stopped doing it and I started sleeping in. I was so much less productive in my business and in my life, and I felt lousy. And so I was like, I'm sleeping a little better. Like today was my first Power Hour again at 7 o'clock, and I've had an amazing day. So how you start your day matters. You know, your day is your life. Your life happens one day at a time. Like you don't get that day back, right? And that could be the day that you go in to a windshield. What do you want it to be, right? Don't leave anything on the table. The table gets cleared every night. So I get up and I do my Power Hour, and I love this sheet because it has a list it goes through the Power Hour itinerary. So 5 minutes add friends, 10 minutes hey girls, 10 minutes follow-ups, 10 minutes challenger invites, send invites, check in with challenge groups, engage in likes and comments, coach online office, 531 Instagram, update contact list, and plan posts. And it even has your vital behaviors over here. And then it has a brain dump, so a to-do list. Then it has your add 3 to 4 people, your hey girl, yo bros, follow-ups, coach, challenger invites, coach invites, social media posts, and then inviting 3 people from Instagram to Facebook. So like literally everything on one piece of paper, right? And so, you know, sometimes I work if my daughter falls asleep in the car, which doesn't happen nearly as often anymore, but still, you know, and this is really easy for me to keep throughout the day. I am a pen paper person. I'm not an online tracker. Like I am techno challenged, which is why I'm not sharing my screen, not even gonna lie. But you don't have to be technology, you know, genius to do this business. You just have to, you know, this business is heart business. And there are things in this business that take no talent. And one of them is consistency. And that is where you do it, right? So my friends, here's how I add friends. I'm in a few mom groups. I really highly suggest that you guys get into groups of your target market. If you have a Bichon dog, you should be in Bichon groups. You know, if you're a mom, you should be in mom groups, like whatever. And you're not limited to one specific type of target market. So a couple times a week, I go through my mom group and I just add friends like crazy, right? And all these people that I'm adding are my target market. So it's perfect, right? Better than the suggested friends on Facebook, because sometimes those are friends of your friends who may be coaches or are coaches or friends of coaches and like whatever, you know, or weird, creepy people. You never know. So I used to do it that way. This is how I do it now. And so what I do is I just mass add a couple times a week. And then I go in every day and I find, okay, so who is my last person on my list? Stephanie Alexander. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to go through and scroll down. I'm going to go to, on my phone, I'm going to go to Melissa, friends, recent. And then I'm going to scroll down until I find Stephanie Alexander. And then I start at the next one and I write down 8 names. So technically I'm adding 8 new friends a day. Okay. Then I go into my Hey Girls. My Hey Girls come from my post from the previous day, which is also a great way to evaluate your social media from the day before. Did you post anything about Beachbody? Like, I don't mean a call to action. Excuse me. I don't mean a call to action post, but like, did you jab about your challenge groups? Did you jab about coaching? Did you share your nutrition? Did you share a workout? Like, are you doing what you should be doing on social media? So when I go through my Hey Girls, it's also an evaluation of my social media from the day before, which is kind of cool. So I always choose a Beachbody related post and I send messages to the people who liked my post. If you're not sending your Hey Girls out this way, you are seriously missing the boat, because instead of sending it to random people, you are sending it to the people who are already interested in what you're doing. They are liking what you're putting out there. They want to be on your bus. And these are the people who you want to reach out to. So I send them a message. Hey girl, thanks for the love. It's always appreciated. And then I ask them a question, right? Maybe it's about if they liked about a challenge group post. I'm like, have you ever done a challenge group? Or like, are you doing anything, to reach your goals right now? And it's not always Beachbody related. And most of the time it's not, because my Hey Girls are just to give them a genuine compliment, let them know that I'm a real person. I really appreciate the love and the support, and that I want to get to know them. That's it. Right? So then the next time they see my post, they send me a message. Or what happens a lot of times is I get a response from this Hey Girl that's like this big, long message about how I've changed their life, that I've helped them do all these things, and they've never said a word to me. I've even had people tell me, I have watched you for years. And I'm like, years? I'm like, hey girl, I'm just right here. Like, so you never know who's watching. And there are so many people who are watching in silence and just waiting until they see something in you or in their journey to spark their own story or determination or motivation or whatever it is. And so when you reach out to these people genuinely, you just kind of edge that along sometimes. So then my follow-ups and my invites are pretty standard. And then I want to take you through real quick. So if someone commented on a challenge group post and I haven't, already formed this person, I have a very specific form. And I encourage you to incorporate these questions in some way when you're forming somebody, but especially when they show interest in what you're doing. Okay. So my family is the whole point of forming is to figure out what you have that they need, is to figure out what you have to meet their need. That's the message. And so in order to do that, you need to figure out what's going on with them, right? And how you can help. So specifically, I'm not just like asking random questions about their family. I'm like, how many people are in your house? How many people do you cook for? Do you have any picky eaters? Do you guys do baseball games? Like, are you always on the go? How many times do you guys eat out? These are the questions that I'm asking about their family. And then their occupation. I'm like, what do you do? Do you sit at a desk job all day? Are you active during work? Or do you have access to a fridge? Can you pack snacks? Do you work daylight? Do you work midnight? Do you work swing shifts? Do you work 12-hour shifts? How many days a week do you work? These are the questions that I'm asking about their occupation. And then their recreation, the first question I ask them is, there ever been any kind of exercise or activity that you've enjoyed doing? Start with what they like. Start with what they enjoy, because we have something that can compare to anything. So it's always a great question to ask, has there ever been anything that you enjoy doing? Because somebody who hates burpees is not going to do burpees every day. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to lie. I was excited to do burpees after like 11 months, but that's rare. Most people really could care less about being able to do burpees, especially in the beginning. So, you need to meet them where they are. And so I like these forum questions, because then when I'm going through the script that I'm going to go through with you guys, I specifically know how I'm going to tell them what tools I have and how they're going to help them. Okay. So this is my script, and I say script because I do not copy and paste this. But it's a guideline, and a good guideline for new coaches to make sure that you're asking the right questions and enough questions. And that's the only reason why I'm giving you this, okay? And I will send this to Megan too. I don't care. I'll send it to everybody because it's going to help you help people. And that's what we do. right? That is why my husband is downstairs giving 4 kids a bath and I'm sitting up here, because I want to help as many people as I can, because I was that broken girl who needed the help. You were someone else before Beachbody. Mm-hmm. Who were you? And what has it done for you? And is that worth sharing? Is that scary? Because when I invite someone to join my challenge group, I am inviting someone into my heart, into my home, into my world, and into this life-changing opportunity that I've been blessed with. That's what I'm inviting them to, right? It's not, will you buy my challenge pack? Like, no. So I, after the forming, I'm like, well, this actually, the all access pass sounds pretty perfect for you, but just to make sure, can I ask you a few more questions? And they're like, yeah. So I say, okay, perfect. Thank you. So do you currently follow a fitness or nutrition plan? Depending on what they answer. So which would you say is which would you say you struggle with the most? The fitness side or the nutrition side? And then they answer. And based off of their answer, my questions are kind of the same. So what is it about that you struggle with? Is it the motivation? Is it the time? Is it the knowledge? Is it, the prep? Like, what is it that you struggle about with nutrition? Is it convenience? What is it about the workouts? You know what I mean? Like, ask those questions, guys. You need to know that as a coach. You are their coach from the second you start talking to them, not the second they sign up. So do you have a goal that you would like to achieve in the first month with our challenge group? Maybe a certain dress size or an outfit in the back of your closet that you haven't felt comfortable in a while, because that was big for me. I try to stay away from scale victories, but it's also because I tend to attract a lot of people who need to lose a lot of weight. And saying that I need to lose 100 pounds is really hard, because it's going to take a while to get to that 100 pounds, right? Took me 2 years. Over 2 years, but it's probably because I didn't follow programs correctly and I did all the modifier, but I got there. I got there nonetheless. So then they tell me, so what would it mean to you if you could reach that goal and gain a better relationship with your health? And most of the time, these women tell me everything. Like, that would be everything. And I'm like, awesome. So I could hook you up with all of our fitness programs. There are programs for every level, and there's a trainer, like a world celebrity trainer on your TV that is going to tell you exactly what to do. So you don't need to know how to do anything. And the best part, you can do it in the privacy of your own home. So you don't have to worry about those people seeing you at the gym because you don't like to work out in front of other people, like you said, right? So I'm applying things that they've said, if that's something that they said. Then you get a nutrition guide that maps out for you what you can eat from a list of foods. You pick the foods you enjoy, then you portion them up, put them into these color-coded containers, and it's easy peasy. This is all done in efforts to help you learn how to eat so that your body gets results and is fueled correctly. You're allowed chocolate and wine on this plan too, so it's definitely not starving or eating food that tastes like cardboard. You're creating a lifelong lifestyle change. No more binging, no more being lost with food. Does this sound like something that could help you to finally be comfortable with your body? And honestly, I'm like reading my script now, and I haven't actually said it that way in a long time, but it's just a good place for you guys to start with, and it's the place that I have written down. So then they normally tell me, like, yeah, because I've planned it all out for them. I've told them the fitness programs that they have, they're for all levels. I told them there's going to be someone in their living room cheering them on, telling them exactly what to do in the privacy of their own home. Because when I started, I locked my husband in the bedroom. He was not even allowed to come out and walk to the kitchen. And if he walked past that living room while I was working out, I stopped. I push play with my husband all the time now, and I love it. And sometimes I really, really try to kick his ass. It doesn't really happen very often, but if we ever do dancing programs, I definitely win on that one. But, I was that person that I would have never done it if I had to go to a gym. I would have never done it if I had to do it in front of other people. So for me, I needed that privacy, right? Then I tell them, okay, so you get 24/7, 365 access to Beachbody On Demand and the entire library. I'm talking every single workout program ever made and all of the new releases to come as soon as they come out. The color-coded portion control containers, the portion fix nutrition guide, a shaker mug, which is great because you're always on the go. so you can make your shakes, throw them in a mug, and take them to softball. And that way you don't have to hit up the concession stand, right? Because that was a problem. A 10% discount on your shake for a year. This alone saves you $156. I am all about the savings. A free t-shirt for every program you complete, a chance to win $500. I just won $1,000. Access to my private accountability groups and me as your coach. You get all of that for $160. Shakeology comes out to about $4 a day. That's a complete meal. Oh, I'm sorry. In there, I also say that you get 30 meals of Shakeology, not a month of Shakeology, 30 meals. I like saying meals because that's what they're getting, right? So Shakeology comes out to about $4 a day, and that's a complete meal, a meal that you're already paying for. You told me you go out to eat 3 times a week. Well, we're going to be saving you money, girlfriend, right? It's cheaper than Starbucks or a Happy Meal, and it's a hell of a lot better for you. And I compare it to the two all the time because people don't even think about that they're spending $5 for a coffee that could kill them, or a Happy Meal that is certainly not happy, right? And then, so I tell them, normally you can get one program for $30 with the Shakeology. And right now you're getting every program. Like every program. There's even like a kids section on there. And then I tell about whatever program I'm doing. And that it was really helpful for me to have the choice when I couldn't do the workouts that I had. I had to try something else online. So I say it's legit the deal of a lifetime and the perfect way to get started. So what do you say? Are you in? And at this point, I don't get a lot of objections. Like for real, guys. First of all, I talk about objections on my Facebook openly, and we've basically eliminated them all. They know they can do this. And at this point, I send them my pictures. My sister sends my pictures with every closing price point she sends, every single one. I think I should get commission off of all of those Success Club points, but she saved my life, so we'll let it go, right? But she sends, so if you don't have like this jaw-dropping transformation, share mine, share someone else's, share anyone's. There are enough of them out there. Trust me. I was just up on that board with 23 other individuals who have changed their life. And so if my story motivates you, send mine. If you have amazing results, send yours. If Shakeology has done something amazing for you in your life and the workouts, then share your pictures and tell them what it's done for you, because it's done something for you. So this is where most coaches and then, somebody says yes. And because we've also talked about the value. I talk about the value. I don't dull down what we have, because the truth is I tell people when I send that picture, I tell them I would have paid 100 times the amount that I paid to get started for what I've gotten. Like money is no object. I mean, obviously I don't have all the money in the world, but money is no object when it comes to your life and the quality that you can live it when you're not living a quality of life. So after that, most coaches are like, yes, okay, great. I'll send you the link, right? You're like, yes, SC2, right? Or SC4, SC20, I don't care, right? Well, this is where I'm going to ask you to just ask the question. Most coaches don't even ask. And it blows my mind, because here's the thing, guys. When you sell a Kickstart, you're adding on a cleanse to that. It's the only thing that they don't get in the All Access Pass. So why wouldn't you offer it? And it's an extra tool in their toolbox. I mean, that cleanse legit changed my life, right? And so most people, what is their biggest struggle? Not seeing results right away, losing motivation. So what if you can start them off with a win of losing 3 to 8 pounds? So here's how I go about that. I'm like, great. I just have a few more questions and we'll get you started. What flavor of Shakeology would you like? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? And I saw this in a group and I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So I asked them what flavor they want to start with. And then I asked them what their favorite flavor of ice cream is, so I can get an idea of what flavor Shakeology. And now they're comparing Shakeology to ice cream. And I mean, that's a win for everybody, right? So I get their Shakeology flavor. And then I say, okay, last question. And we're doing this. With your kit today, you can add on a 3-day cleanse for just $45. When the All Access Pass goes back up to $199, it'll only be $40, but right now it's $45. So their total is $205, right? $205 is what I paid for my challenge pack for T25 and Shakeology. So 205 isn't anything, right? And so you can get a cleanse, 3-day cleanse for just $45. Normally it's $70. It is a great way to jumpstart into a healthy lifestyle, helps rid your body of toxins, crave healthy foods, and you'll probably lose inches off your waist and lose 3 to 8 pounds in your first 3 days, which is great motivation to keep going, right? Didn't you say that you struggle with seeing instant results? Didn't you, like, whatever, you know, they said they struggled with? And then I send my pictures of my last few cleanses. Again, I'm always sending my pictures. I'm always taking pictures, right? And I'm sending them my results of my last couple cleanses because, well, now that I'm pregnant, I'm out for like years. But, you know, I was doing them probably like every 4 to 6 months, you know, depending. And especially after my accident, because I was taking all these pain pills and all these MRIs and all these x-rays and everything, all this junk that my body wasn't used to. And so I've done a lot of cleanses. If you haven't done a cleanse, do a cleanse, share it, talk about it. Right? Like, you need to try our products. They are amazing. The performance line has changed so much for me. Like, the overnight recharge helps my back so much. Like, how amazing is that? That I can say, like, not only are our products awesome, but they help my freaking chronic back pain. Like, come on, guys. Like, try them. So, get back. My phone died. Okay. So then I send my pictures, and most of the time they're like, yeah, let's do the cleanse. Like, yeah, let's do it. Right. Because, and you know, I even say sometimes in there, like in the same message, like, even if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to start to do it, do you have any weddings or events coming up in the next couple months? Like, it's great before one of those. Like, it's a great tool. And I even tell them it's a great tool to have in your toolbox because, okay, first of all, think about this, guys. If all of your coaches started selling kickstarts, what would that do to your volume, right? Like, yeah. And you're not just taking their money. You're giving them an extra tool. You are giving them a quick win, guys. Like, these products seriously work. This isn't a gimmick. You're not selling them a freaking wrap. I'm sorry, but you're not, right? Like, I stand behind our products 100%. And so when someone tells me, if someone does say, well, I would rather drink this shake and just get the workouts, you know what my response to them is? Okay, I mean, you know, you do whatever you feel like you need to do, but I will tell you, there is no substitute for Shakeology. And you messaged me because you were impressed with my results. My results came from Shakeology and Beachbody programs, even modified Beachbody programs. So if I have to give credit where credit is due, Shakeology is definitely credit worthy. I was losing weight while I wasn't allowed to work out. Explain that one to me. Right? So I live and breathe by our products. So when someone questions it, it doesn't offend me at all, but I'm going to tell them that that's how I got here. And that's the only way that I can get them where they need to go. So then at that point, I get them started with the Beachbody mobile enrollment app because there are so many less issues. So I go in, I do the all access kickstart, I do their Shakeology flavor. And right before I do that, I'm like, all right, so we're doing the all access pass. We're doing vanilla vegan. We're doing the 3-day cleanse. And this is your email, correct? Correct. So I go in, I do it all. And then I tell them, all right, you have an email waiting for you. All you have to do is complete your info. Let me know when it's done so I can make sure it processes correctly and get you added to my group. And that is it. So should I read through the chats? I don't know. Were you watching? Are there questions or are there just lots of cool stuff that I should probably copy for my ego? I'm just kidding. For when I'm having a bad day and I don't want to get out of bed and work out, right? I can't hear you. Did I do something? I'm sorry, Megan, I can't hear you anymore.
That's because I'm on.
Okay, I was like, is that just me? Remember, I'm technology challenged?
Nope, that would be me over here, technology challenge. I mean, yeah. Okay, so a lot of people a lot of this is just super inspired by your story and relating to some of your chronic pain and relating to like with chronic disease, a lot of just people relating, but others are asking about your script. Is that a flow that you would be comfortable sharing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just, you know, every call that I've hosted, I've sent my Power Hour tracker and my script because it's a good guide. It's a good guide until you know all the questions, you know?
Right, exactly. And I think that's exactly what people need is just because of what you did, and you said this, you've eliminated so many objections by having the conversation that you've had with people. You're getting ahead of things before they even have a chance to say, well, you know, X, Y, or Z, but didn't you already say it? Because you know, this money, the price objection is the biggest one. It's not in the budget, whatever. But you've already identified how many times they eat out, and you're like, not so much, because remember you just said this, and so you're, you know, so I think a guideline like that would help people. I mean, and you know, she said this. This is she only calls it a script because she kind of follows this process, this format, but like you don't want to sound canned. So I think that would be really valuable to a lot of people. You know, if you're willing to share that. Let me see if any questions. You came to me because of my result when I did it with Shakeology. Yes. Gosh, let's see. I mean, I'm sure there are lots of comments. Someone was asking how you form when you already know the person. So you're talking about how you message everybody that likes your posts. I guess what if you already have a relationship with someone or you know them at a certain level, and so maybe it's a little awkward to start asking, you know, a lot of questions about themselves. I don't know if that's what they mean.
Honestly, it makes it easier for me to specifically form someone who I know really well because then it's not weird that I just go straight into those specific form questions. Because even if you know someone real well, you may not know how many nights they have activities with their family, and if they have any picky eaters, and you know, if they can have breaks at their job, or you know, what they like to do for fun exercise wise. Like you could know someone really well and not know those things about them. So I feel like if you have a close relationship, then you should form specifically to how you can maybe help them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that I agree. I mean, also you don't have to cut through a lot of the conversation. You get closer to, you know, what they're doing for fitness. Melissa, I mean, like I wrote down so much, and I really wish I could keep you for our hours. So we're your story is incredible, and like it makes me actually almost like feel guilty that I am not reaching to more people. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm realizing like, oh my gosh, there are so many more people out there with issues like you have, with a starting point like you had. And most people just don't come on the other side. Like probably 1 out of 50 comes out on the other side where you have. And that just means there are just countless people out there who need what we have. And it just makes me think of the times that I'm like slacking, or I've already done enough today, or I'm already at Success Club double digits. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there are so many more Melissas who need what we have. And so that's all I was thinking is like, man, like what this opportunity has done for her and what the tools that we have to share. And the times when I'm like, I don't know, I'm tired or I'm lazy or I'm in a bad mood, and I can just say, that's about me. And when I realized there's just so many people and your life was transformed.
Totally.
And so I just think that's I think we all should feel convicted to know that how many people are out there who need what we have. And I'm
like you have a power. You have a powerful, you know, tool in your pocket, and all you have to do is offer and ask. And you have to share. So someone did ask how many times I share my story in there. And yes, it was touched on 2 times a week. But here's a great posting schedule that I start with all of my new coaches because it's duplicatable. And it's a great way to keep a balance of everything you're supposed to be doing. So 4 posts a day, regardless. 4 posts a day is non-negotiable. 2 lifestyle posts. So you were a person before Beachbody, you still need to be a person now. So 2 lifestyle posts, 1 health and fitness post, and 1 motivational or inspirational post, because that's the shit that we do, right? And then on Tuesday and Thursday, you have an extra post, you have a story share. It's some kind of version of before, what it looked like before, what part helped you, what it looks like now, right? And you're dropping breadcrumbs of this. So twice a week, every week, you're dropping a piece of how you've changed, how you've transformed. And that means you need to keep transforming, right? We are always a work in progress. And then every Wednesday night is a challenge group call to action post, and every Sunday night is a coach call to action post. And that is a simple way, because, you know, I used to start out coaches and be like, get a posting schedule, like write down 20 things that are good, you know, that you like about you. And they're like, I have a dog and I'm a mom. Like, and they don't know who they are as coaches yet. They don't know who they are because they haven't done the PD. They haven't done the work. And so they just need somewhere to kind of start, like just a, you know, a roadmap. So I think that that's a great schedule to follow for new coaches or coaches that feel like in a rut from, you know, posting.
Yes, agreed. I mean, I feel like there's so many, okay, I'm trying to pull out like my most favorite things. So many things stuck out to me, like committing to a full program. I mean, she made committing to a calendar. Like if you just haven't done that, like that is critical. Gosh, there's so many things. You know, following the modifier, being okay with following the modifier. And like she had her most incredible results following the modifier. That was how she lost like so much weight. Exercise is a privilege. That is a huge one. I remember having surgery in February and being out for a month and just like realizing how much I took for granted, you know, yeah. And so many of us aren't like getting results. The reason Melissa's having such success right now is because she's getting results. She's doing the programs. She's following a calendar. She's sharing it. People want what she has. She's following a program, and she recognizes that exercise is a privilege. But like I know that oftentimes we just kind of get lazy, we get tired, and it's like, oh, this is something I have to do. But like, why aren't you doing it? I love that piece, and that she leaned in. She leaned into her business. She leaned into her challenge. She leaned into her fitness when things got tough rather than away. That's what happens. I have challengers and coaches go MIA when life sucks. Oh, I don't have time for this. I'm taking a break.
And maybe it sucks more.
My life. I'm going through a ridiculous move right now in my life. You know, like leaning in. She leaned in. Her flaws and her faults are her blessing. When she started to share her alcoholism, like that was the one thing that she was not sharing. And like when she what was the other thing you said was your passionate heart, your being melodramatic. So one of my flaws is I am extremely expressive when I talk, and my face falls all over the place. And a lot of people would like to joke on that and pick on it. But you know, the more that I just let it go, the more it endears people to me. You know, when you embrace those things about yourself and you share it, that is exactly what touches people. Gosh, so many things. And she said, this is something that I wanted to touch on. She talked about reaching out to the people who like her posts. And I talk about this. I encourage you guys to, you know, she's saying, don't just go through the friends lists. Okay, we're going to go through the A's today. No, the people who are engaging with your stuff, those are the people who care. Those are the people who are seeing your thing. So why not? That's your like hot, low hanging fruit. And she said she's reaching out to them genuinely. She's not just sending a script. She cares. And we overcomplicate this. We make this so simple, you know, like stupid complicated by asking, well, what exactly do I say to them? Well, do you genuinely care about people? Then what do you want to know about them? You know, that her genuine heart is not even about beach bodies. What leads her to a place where she's able to even ask, to earn the right to ask if they want to join her challenge group. And I think this is a fun little thing, kind of, you know, maybe a little bit silly, but like asking like what flavor of ice cream. That this is a new thing that I've heard people doing. What flavor ice cream? Because now they're already like, oh, I'm gonna get a treat, sweet. Yeah. And if someone says, oh, I like chocolate chip mint, and then you're able to like direct them to, you know, maybe like vanilla with, you know, some mint extract. You're able to even give them a flavor that they might love, like a recipe that they might love. Once, you know, I love that. That really gets them already thinking about Shakeology as something that's going to bless them, not just, oh, this is what I have to do to get into the challenge. Okay. But no, like you're already like planting the seed. Get ready for this. You're going to get to like have this treat. I love that. Okay. So many things. I don't want to take everyone's time. It's already late, but like so many things. Like Melissa, this is just extraordinary. I mean, thank you for sharing so much, so vulnerably. This is exactly what we all need to be doing. Your passion, your just knowing that there are more people out there like you, that we have so much work to do. And what a gift we have. I think it's just a great reminder of what a gift we have to share with people. Does anybody have any other questions for Melissa? I'm going to go through my notes. It said, do not cheapen this. I love that. Do not cheapen this with just your Club 2 points. Forget your freaking Success Club and forget all that for a second. And like the $140, $160, whatever, like that is nothing. And we are so apologetic with the price of things. Oh, I know it's expensive, but no, it's not freaking expensive. Your life is so much more valuable than that.
I never say that because to me, it's not expensive.
But
it's not.
Agreed. I agree, but we are so apologetic about it. And I think people feel that and we kind of cheapen it. But you know, you said I would pay 100 times more because that's the reality. It should cost more. The freaking All Access Challenge Pack, I'm embarrassed how much it cost.
I was mad when they dropped it to 160. I was like, are you kidding me? This is already amazing. Like, I was actually a little insulted. I'm not going to lie.
It's insane. And like, yeah. So, you know, not being apologetic about it. Like, oh my gosh, you see what you're getting here. So, just get to summit, get to summit, get to summit. Yeah, Melissa, you were so, you shared a lot of value, like, touched me so much. Your story is just, yeah, it's a lot. It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for getting so raw and real. And I know so many people personally can relate to a lot of the things you're dealing with, anxiety, depression, and alcoholism. Not feeling comfortable being intimate with their spouse. You know, you saying that, like, he deserves more of that. He deserves you. You decided, what did you, I wrote down. Gosh, what did I write down? You said, you decided the people, your children, your family, the best thing you could do for them. Because at the end of the day, like, we will let ourselves go in a heartbeat. We will, we put ourselves last. You know, we will serve everyone else before us, but that's just something we do. And if we won't do it for ourselves, if we don't value ourselves enough yet, we value our family, we'd do anything, we'd die for them. But you knew that the best thing that you could do for them, to show them that you love them, was to work on you. Because that could have been you on that bridge. That could have been, you know what I mean? Like, that could have been you. That could be so many people.
I lived for years. Was just like, for real. That was me before Beachbody, just living on that bridge, just surviving one thing to the next, thinking that I didn't know how much more I could handle if God kept piling it on. And now, thanks to Beachbody, I'm kind of like, well, what else you got? Like, I've got that too. And that's a strength in me that I didn't know that I had. And honestly, like, nothing is more important to me than the difference in my attitude, especially towards myself. Like, to be the mom who loves herself through and through for her daughter and teaches her daughter that, and to be the wife who sees what my husband sees in me, you know, is worth it, because now I can let him love me. I couldn't do that before because I didn't love me and I didn't feel that I was worthy of that love. And, you know, we do put ourselves last. And I tell moms all the time, like, I know that, you know, you're always doing for your family and you think that your kids need this and your kids need that, and that's why you're not doing this. But I will tell you, the best thing that I've ever done for my family is to put me first. Mm-hmm. Is to put me first, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You know, you put your face mask on first. And that's what you have to do. Putting yourself first is the best thing that you can do for your family, because it sheds off into your family. Like, I was the most negative person I knew, and now my husband tells me I'm one of the most positive people that he knows in his life. And he has some positive, my father-in-law is like Ned Flanders, like, no joke. Like, they are like identical. And so he comes from this amazing world. And part of the reason why I wanted to work on myself is because I was like, I'm a Ludwig. Everyone who knows my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, they love them. And I thought, what do people think about me? And that didn't take long before I realized that that's not what I wanted people to think about me. And so I started becoming the person who I wanted people to see me as. And then I started to see myself as that person. And when you start to see that, I think that's worth more. That's worth everything.
You're right. And the one thing that I could speak and go ahead and close this off with before anyone else has a question, but like she mentioned, and kind of full circle, this UV2 that launched today, you know, where Melissa was in her life, like UV2 is for the people like where Melissa started. And I think, you know, we could really be neglecting a huge opportunity to reach the least of these, for those of you who, you know, consider yourselves believers, and that's what we're supposed to do. And the people who like are really at the lowest of low, in their, you know, taking care of themselves and like just moving in general, like even just like walking around the block or walking to the mailbox is like gets them winded. Like UV2 is that gateway, guys. Like you may not want to do it yourself, but you know what? If you care enough about making a difference in people's lives, you're going to check out that program. You're going to dance to it. You're going to put your kids in there. You're going to put some videos out there, and you're going to find the people who this is something that would actually get them on their feet and you know, making a difference in their health and fitness, and you know, very possibly saving their lives. Okay, Melissa, thank you so much for sharing, you know, so much of your time this evening. Really, truly appreciated. Just really generous of you. So you poured your heart out too, and you definitely brought me to tears. So we will all be voting for you the June 5th. Remind us. Go ahead, go self-promote right now. Please go. Tell us what to do.
So I have Post-it notes, and if you guys don't have Post-it notes up or somewhere up around your house, your goals and your why, like you should, because I have Post-it notes up all over my house of Beachbody Challenge winner. And, you know, I really, you know, it doesn't matter to me if it's the 25,000 or the 100,000, but to be on that stage and to have my story told is a dream that I have had for 3 years. It is a dream that pushed me through the depths of my soul. It is a dream that pushed me through pain that I've never had. It is always been my fighting force, and it would mean everything. I mean, I'm a winner already. I know that I have won my life back, but you know, to be up on that stage and oh my gosh, like I can't even fathom, but to have that confetti fall on me and be that winner, like, and what I love the most about it is, like you said, like that my story can touch so many people. So like, regardless, I love that my story is getting out there. I love that all of our stories get out there. I love what we do. I mean, guys, I got my life back, and now I could win $25,000. Like, are you kidding me? We get paid to change our lives. And then my next goal after being on that stage is to coach someone on that stage. And that's the next goal. And so if you are not someone who has a goal to be on that stage, you know, if you don't have that huge transformation to go, then make it your mission to get someone on that stage and share my story when it's voting week and when the time comes, and say that this company is not only amazing enough to change lives, but then it rewards people for that. And so, you know, use this because, okay, here's how people have to vote. So I encourage you to push this like crazy when you see my name, my face on there, because this is what I told my team. This is an opportunity for you to ask someone for a favor for someone else. And we know that's so much easier than asking for ourselves. So, hey, would you do me a favor? Would you sign up for a free membership? Because everyone who votes have to have a Beachbody membership. Would you sign up for a free membership on my page or a free 30-day trial of our online workouts? Even better. And vote for my amazing friend who has lost 111 programs by working out, following the modifier in her living room through a broken neck, depression, alcoholism, and anxiety. And she could win $100,000. And you are telling me that if that person has a goal in mind, they're not going to be like, yes? You guys realize that you could get 100 free customers in a week. 100 free customers in a week by asking a favor for me. And that's a huge opportunity for you to show what we do in this business, that it has changed my life and it is rewarding me plentifully.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. So like use this week.
Everybody wins.
Even if I'm not on there, find a story that inspires you and push it. And push it with your challengers and push it on your Facebook and push it in your coaches. But more importantly, push it with those people who are already not associated with Beachbody.
Yeah.
That could be their deciding factor. That could be what motivates them to start.
For sure. For them to see what Beachbody is really about, you know, helping people. I think that's such a great message to introduce someone to Beachbody with that, rather than, can you join my challenge, or to be able to show them like what they're doing for people and like the transformations that are possible. Yeah, the life change. I think that's the next. It's a win-win-win. Melissa, we get to help Melissa out. We get to help ourselves out, and we get to help out this new contact out, or our current contacts, for them to see exactly what Beachbody truly is about. If they ever had any doubt, they get to really see. So we will definitely be voting for you. 100%. Our team is Team Melissa. So you can count on our vote, no doubt. But thanks again, Melissa. You have been like, I mean, I've had some like superstars and elite double. You've been my favorite. Just saying.
Like,
your story is just, it's touching. It just reminds us what we're here for, and I'm honored to know you, and honored to have shared this evening with you, and all of my team is honored, very privileged to have gotten to be a part of your journey. So thanks again. You have a great night, and bye, Team Phoenix. You'll have a great night. We're going to be voting, no doubt about it.
I'll see you on that stage.
That's right.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye.